Long 4C hair enters the chat and suddenly everybody becomes a geneticist. Before the woman can even explain what she changed, what she stopped doing, or how long the journey took, the verdict is already in. That routine didn't grow her hair. That is DNA. She was simply born with good hair. Case closed. The products are dismissed. The technique is ignored. Years of trials, error, and consistency are erased in 10 seconds. Because according to some people, long hair 4C creators are not teaching us anything. They are simply packaging in a rated lock as hair advice. But according to the other side, anybody can reach waist length with the right routine, enough patience, and a certain bonnet. And honestly, both sides are making promises they cannot fully prove. So today, we are separating what genetics may have given these women from what their routines may have helped them keep. We need to answer these questions. Are long hair 4C YouTubers genuinely teaching us how they retain their hair, or they just genetically bless women taking credit was something their ancestors already handled? In other terms, results that were already written into their DNA. Yeah, because this debate gets spicy very quickly. Let's put it on trial. Welcome or welcome back to Daylight, the series where we take popular beliefs about 4C hair, put them on trial, find out whether they are facts or just opinions repeated confidently enough for the whole community to accept them. And today's defendant is genetics. More specifically, the belief that long, healthy 4C hair is mainly the result of good genes. Those YouTubers are lying when they credit their routines. Now, I already know this comment section is going to be divided. One group will say, of course it's genetics. Look at her mother. Look at her sister. Look at the family reunion. And another group will say, anybody can grow waist length if they just moisturize and protect their ends. And I'm here to annoy both groups because the truth is sitting somewhere in the middle. Let's begin with something important. Genetics are real. I know. Shocking development. Your genes can influence characteristics such as your natural density, strength, thickness, and the length of time your hair remain in its active growing phase. That growing phase is called anagen phase. The longer an individual hair remains in that phase, the longer it potentially has to grow before it eventually sheds and a new cycle begins. So yes, two people can follow similar routines and still have different densities, different strength characteristics, and potentially different maximum lengths. Yeah, you cannot deep condition your way into someone else's DNA. That's a fact. You cannot massage your scalp until your follicles say, you know what, let's give her the family package from that woman she saw on YouTube. Some people genuinely may have biological advantages that make reaching exceptional lengths easier for them. That part is not a lie. The lie begins when we decide that genetics are the only reason their hair is long, and therefore everything they did to care for it was irrelevant. Because genetics may influence what grows from your scalp, but they do not personally come down from the heavens every wash day to detangle your ends. And this is where usually the conversation goes wrong. Growing hair and retaining length are not exactly the same thing. Hair growth happens at the scalp. Length retention is all about how much of that hair remains on your head instead of breaking somewhere along the strand. So yeah, I know we repeat this all the time, but it's important that people understand. Your follicles may be doing perfectly their job, while at the same time your ends stay here fighting for their lives. Your roots keep clocking in every morning. Your ends are resigning without notice. Till you understand that process, you will understand why you cannot grow long hair. It's really important to get it. So somebody can say, my hair has been the same length for 5 years. It clearly doesn't grow, which is totally incorrect, because if that person has visible growth, visible new growth whenever she wears braids, then something is growing. I know it's hard to accept. The question becomes, how much of that growth is she keeping? You want to grow long hair, you have to figure out how to make this work. Tightly textured hair can be extremely vulnerable to knots and breakage, especially when repeated tensions, talking about us with braids, strong gels pulled back, the same area, the same region, friction, and rough manipulation are involved. Let me be precise. That means the way we detangle, style, and protect all the ends can affect how much visible length we retain. Does not mean there's one perfect routine guaranteed. To grow everybody's hair to her waist, it means hair care habits are not completely irrelevant just because genetics exists. Now let's return to the accusation. Are long hair 4C YouTubers lying to us? Some creators simply say, this is my routine. This is what helped me. These are the habits that I change. And that is not automatically a lie. They are sharing their personal experience. The problem begins where personal experience is presented as guaranteed formula. Use this oil and your hair will grow exactly exactly like mine. Follow these 5 steps and everybody can reach waist length. That's misleading. Buy my growth serum because the bottle is obviously responsible for all the hair I have been growing since childhood. Man, put the bottle down. A creator should acknowledge that her result may involve several factors: genetics, consistency, hair care practices, previous damage, lifestyle, health, and sometimes access to enough time, money, and patience to treat wash day like a national event. It is what it is. Her routine may genuinely help her retain length, but that does not mean every viewer will reproduce her exact results. You need to be aware of this. And it also does not mean she's lying simply because her genetics may have helped her. Both can be true. She may have favorable genetics. She may also be very good at retaining the hair those genetics produce. And if you're enjoying this investigation or agreeing that the answer cannot be simply genes or routine, go ahead and hit the like button. It tells YouTube that you want more 4C hair debates like this one. And it also let me know I am not standing in this courtroom arguing with myself. Bruh. Here is the uncomfortable part. Sometimes it's just genetics is not used as an explanation. It's being used to dismiss somebody's work. A woman spends 8 years learning her hair, correcting damaging habits, recovering from setbacks, and becoming more consistent. Then she finally shows her length and we say, good hair, good genes, case closed. Come on. Imagine studying for years, graduating, and somebody saying, well, your family is intelligent. Excuse me? Nah. Can the ancestors receive some credit? Absolutely. But I was also present. At the same time, I do not want this conversation to become, if your hair is not long, it must be your fault. Absolutely not. You can care for your hair well and still not have the same density, thickness, or length as somebody else. You can experience medical loss, hormonal changes, stress, postpartum shedding, scalp conditions, or setbacks that are not solved by using a different leave-in conditioner. And some people may simply have a shorter growing phase than others. This is not a video about blaming women for every length plateau. No, it is about refusing both extremes. Your routine does not control everything, but your genetics do not make every decision for you either. A hair routine cannot change your inherited density. It cannot guarantee a specific growth rate. It cannot promise you somebody else's final length, and it cannot turn your strength into hers. But a suitable routine may help you reduce unnecessary breakage, limit excessive tension, keep your hair manageable during detangling, protect fragile ends, notice problems before they become major setbacks, and remain consistent enough to retain more of the hair you already grow. That is a much more honest promise. Not follow my routine and you will have my hair, but learn which habits help your own hair remain on your head. Because maybe your goal is waist length, maybe it's brush strap length, maybe it is simply recovering your edges or having fuller, healthier looking ends. Success does not have to mean recreating another woman's head of hair. So instead of looking at a long hair creator and asking, is it genetics or a routine? Maybe the better question is, how much did each factor contribute? We may never know the exact percentage. There's no DNA calculator that says, congratulations, your hair is 63% genetics, 22% low manipulation, 15% the satin bonnet you keep losing during your sleep. But we can evaluate her advice. Is she promising guaranteed results? Is she pretending everybody has the same starting point? Is she selling a product as the sole explanation for hair she had before the product existed? Those are valid reasons to question the creator. But if she says, this is what helped me reduce breakage and retain more length, that is not automatically deception. That is information you can examine, adapt, and test on your own hair. So is long, healthy 4C hair influenced by genetics? Yes. Can favorable genetics make exceptional length easier for some people? Potentially, yes. Does that mean every long hair 4C YouTuber is lying and her routine contributed absolutely nothing? Nothing? No. Genetics set part of the stage, but our habit can affect what happens to the hair after it leaves the scalp. So the belief that long FA4C hair is only good hair or only good genes, and every YouTuber sharing a routine is a liar, they lied. Now I want to hear from you. When you see a woman with extremely long 4C hair, what is your first thought? Her routine must be working. She clearly has good genes. This one is very common and popular. Or let me inspect these ends before I make a statement. And be honest, have you ever dismissed somebody's hair progress as genetics? Or have people use genetics to dismiss yours? Let me know in the comments, because I already know this conversation is going to continue down there. And in the next episode of The Light, we are putting another major belief on trial. Is 4C hair genuinely difficult and unmanageable, or were many of us simply never taught how to work with it? And are we making it even harder by copying routines from creators whose texture, density, and hair behavior are completely different from ours, then blaming our own hair when we do not get the same result? If the episode is already already on the screen. Click it now. And if it's not posted yet, subscribe and turn on your notification bell. Turn on your notifications so you do not miss it. Till next time, take care of yourself and your crown. Bye now. Come on, say you don't know, you the one who had it. Try and guess how old this hairstyle is. Thank you. Okay. This is crazy.